going on, everybody? I'm Jay. Welcome to Square Pegs. Today, I wanted to kind of take a second look at the Nintendo Switch GameCube online service because there's some games I want to see on that platform. Let's take a look now at 10 games I want to see.
Before I get too far into things, I want to apologize for lying to all of you.
And he cheated.
Liar! Liar! Liar!
Get back, witch!
I'm not a witch, I'm your wife!
Because I said 10 games in the intro, I'm going to say 10 games in the outro. One, I'm too lazy to re-record. And two, I kept finding more games that I wanted to talk about today, and I didn't want to do this video more than once before the Switch 2 drops. So you're getting 20. You're getting 20 games. And this one here, Animal Crossing, I think is an absolute necessity. Well, if you play it today and you compare it to something like Animal Crossing New Horizons, this is going to seem quaint in its design. I still prefer the original Animal Crossing in a lot of ways to the later games that we got. While this is definitely a chore simulator, I think it's a brilliant one. I love the segmented levels, so it wasn't just an open world where you walked around. You were able to kind of organize your thoughts a little bit when you had to go fossil hunting or picking weeds or something like that. I just really loved the original Animal Crossing. I loved the fact that you were able to get NES games and add them to your house. It's a great game, and it was a brilliant first offering for that series, especially for us here in the West who didn't get Animal Forest on the N64. It's a great game, and it's something I really think the Switch Online service would do well to have. Oh man, I don't know the likelihood of this happening because I don't know where WB stands with Teen Titans Go right now. Like this isn't Teen Titans Go. This is the original Teen Titans series, but this is such a fantastic 4-player game that to me is just the picture-perfect example of an online game to play with your buddies. First off, 100% a hidden gem. The original Teen Titans game on the GameCube is spectacular. No one knows about it. No one plays it, and it's a shame because this game is legit money. It is one of my top 10 GameCube games. Like, no joke. I absolutely adore this title. You get to play as Beast Boy, Robin, Cyborg, Starfire, or Raven. You can hot swap between the characters in the single player, or in multiplayer, you can pick your favorite Titan and beat the crap out of the people from the Hive. It's wonderful. I absolutely love this game. I wish more people appreciated this one. I wish this led to an army of fantastic Teen Titans video games, but sadly, this is it. This is what you get. If you haven't played it, though, what better time than Switch Online? Now, like I said, I don't know where the WB stands right now with this license, with this property. I would hope with kind of the resurgence of things, like if Superman does well in theaters in July, I think that the likelihood ticks up a couple percentage points. But for right now, if you haven't played it and you are like me and think it's a very slim chance that this happens on the Switch Online, pick this game up and play it on original hardware because you will not regret it. I maintain that Sphinx and the Cursed Mummy is the best 3D action game you've never played. And I know a lot of people have played it, but it is one of those games that when I mention it, a lot of people will look at me like I'm crazy because I've never heard of it. Take The Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time, or The Twilight Princess, or anything like that, the kind of classic 3D Zelda experience, put it in a little bit more comedic ancient Egypt setting, and you get Sphinx and the Cursed Mummy. Amazing level designs, great gameplay, fantastic dialogue options, like really, really funny dialogue, and a just imaginative take on what this type of game could be. It makes it important. It makes it really, really special to me. Now, we got a remaster of this on the Switch and PS4 and the Xbox One, and I think that's awesome. And I would love to say that, you know, that was enough, and we should be happy with what we got, but I would love to see this come out on the Switch Online service because it's just such a fun title. And being able to play that original presentation and that original kind of way the game was meant to be seen, I think would be pretty cool.
Ready?
If you've ever played a GameCube, you have played Super Monkey Ball 2. The reason I want this one, for no other reason than online gameplay. Just imagine playing Monkey Combat or Monkey Target with your friends online from across the globe. People you used to get together with back when you were in high school or when you were a kid playing on the GameCube, and being able to do it online. That's why I want it. That's why I want Super Monkey Ball 2. I admit this one might be tough to make happen, and some people might be curious why I'm choosing Donkey Kong Jungle Beat over something like Donkey Konga or Donkey Konga 2. And that's because Jungle Beat, I think, is really unique. I mean, at the end of the day, it is just a rhythm game with some really fancy gravy on top of it, but it's a rhythm game that I think kind of shows how weird Nintendo can get at times, because this is a platformer using bongos. Now, yes, there are no bongos on the Nintendo Switch or the Nintendo Switch 2. There are no real opportunities to use some of the things that are like needed for this to work. Like there's no clapping or anything like that you can make happen, but I just think there has to be a way to make that work with the Switch 2's hardware capabilities. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm an idiot for wanting to have this game on the Switch Online, but I love this one so much. I would love to see it come back and have more people get the chance to play it.
Here we go with the start of the fight. His legs are really holding up well, not a sign of wobbling. Solid defense.
Yes, I understand the likelihood of this happening is 0%. I understand that this would never happen just due to the licenses involved. And I realize that I'm putting this on here simply because I worked on it and I loved working on it and it's one of my favorite games that I worked on. But goddamn, Fight Night Round 2 is a good game. I really do believe that. I think this is one of the best boxing games ever made. I think it's the perfect boxing sim and one that was really rare to have on a Nintendo platform at the time. Like, I think the only other boxing games that were available were like the Ready to Rumble titles, and those are decidedly not simulations. This game's amazing. It has incredible boxing physics. It has a great set of mini games involved. Super Punch-Out is part of the game, so like that's the only thing I think that might make it happen is because Nintendo's already given the thumbs up to it once. Maybe they'd let it on again, but I mean, EA's not going to do it. I know that much for a fact. The boxers that are featured in it would have to get paid again. They ain't going to do that. But this game's so good. This game is just so good. There were a lot of really great snowboarding games that released around the GameCube generation, and while you can't go wrong with anything on the PlayStation or on the Xbox, I think 1080 Avalanche is one of the finest games released in that genre. It's a great game with fantastic controls, a wonderful look that still holds up to this day. Like, I think that is one of the most kind of remarkable things about the GameCube is how great games still look when they looked good back then. Now, there are plenty of games that look like dog crap on the Cube, but games like 1080 Avalanche, they look amazing. And the gameplay is tight. The controls are really well done. The soundtrack is amazing. It feels like a real racing game, like a real snowboard racing game that doesn't lean into kind of the theatrics of an SSX or anything like that. It just feels like a downhill snowboarding game. And sometimes that's all you really need. Great level designs, great track selection, great courses. 1080 Avalanche is the whole package. Normally, I would think that they probably wouldn't do this. I don't think Nintendo, in most cases, would put out a game that features similar gameplay to one that they're trying to push for their new console, but based on the fact that Mario Kart World is so far removed, at least from what I can tell, truth be told, I haven't played it yet, but it's so far removed from traditional Mario Kart gameplay that I think Double Dash, which is already kind of the weird black sheep of the family anyway, could show up on the Switch Online service. This is my personal favorite Mario Kart. I loved having the tandem teams. I loved the character-specific power-ups. I liked the course design. I liked the music. I thought the game looked beautiful. I thought the physics were great, and it played incredibly well. I just really, really love this game, and it is, like I said, my favorite Mario Kart ever made. I love the Pac-Man World games, and while we got Pac-Man World Repack released on the previous generation, and I own it on the Switch, and it's wonderful. You haven't played it, you really should. It's a really great game. I was hoping that we would get Pac-Man World 2 Repack because as much as I enjoyed the first one, the second one is a significantly better game. Now, fingers crossed that because we haven't gotten that remaster done by Namco, we see it happen as a release on the Nintendo Switch 2 GameCube online service. This is a classic 3D platformer featuring Pac-Man. It's a very basic, straightforward game. It's a collect-a-thon where you're collecting power pellets. You get to get different power pellets to eat the ghosts. And one of the neat things about it is you can actually unlock arcade versions of the games as well to be able to play them from the classic Pac-Man series. It's a basic title at the end of the day, but I do think that it's a really fun 3D platformer, and on a console that was known for them, this is one that to me sticks out in my mind. I think it's a really fun game.
Defense is getting calm right now. Amiga Okafor, the Husky from Houston, in the building.
Much like Fight Night Round 2, I don't think there's any chance that we would get NBA Street Volume 3 released on the Nintendo GameCube, but I'm putting it on here simply because Nintendo threw a lot of support behind this title. They allowed Mario, Peach, and Luigi as playable characters in this game, and it was pretty cool. Like, this felt like a neat crossover between NBA Street and Mario 3-on-3 Hoops Battle. The gameplay was fantastic. The look was wonderful. The music in the game is unbelievable. If you are a classic hip-hop fan, you need this game in your life and in your ears because the beats in this game are just fantastic. I love this title, though. This is one that I would love to see come back, and I think there's a path forward for games like NBA Street and FIFA Street and NFL Street to return now that we're featuring this particular generation. Do I think it's a particularly possible path? No, I think it's full of brambles, and I think there are beasts on there that are going to slay us if we go on it, because I really don't think anyone is going to want to relicense these NBA players. But the NBA Players Union also has a retired players contract where they're allowed to appear and stuff. So if there's at all a possibility, this is it. I hope it happens, but I don't think it will. Geist is one of those weird footnotes in the pantheon of Nintendo releases that I don't think a lot of people know about or appreciate, because this is a mature-rated Nintendo first-person shooter where you get to play as a ghost that possesses other bodies. It's a bloody game, it's violent, it's really well designed, it's creepy at times. It's such a strange thing to have the Nintendo Racetrack logo on when you think about things that Nintendo is typically known for. Like, before this, I think the edgiest Nintendo got was like some of the characters in Zelda or maybe Metroid. But yeah, no, Geist is a hard M-rated title, and it's one of those cool games, man, that I just think more people need to play. I would love to see it on the Switch Online. I would love to see it kind of realized with a utilization of the Switch 2 Pro controller, because I think one of the things that made it suffer a bit on the original GameCube was the fact that that GameCube controller wasn't really optimized for first-person shooters. I think with a more logical layout of a modern controller, this game could absolutely sing. Oh god, Billy Hatcher is the what might have been, as far as I'm concerned, of Sega mascots, because while I love Sonic, and I love Toe Jam and Earl, and I love Alex Kidd, and I love the characters from Golden Axe and things like that, Billy Hatcher was the first character I really remember seeing from Sega in ages and going, oh my god, this is brilliant. I love the character design, I love the gameplay, I love the levels, I love the absolute just lunacy of this concept. Boy in chicken suit gathers eggs, go. And they're bouncy. For some reason, they're bouncy eggs. I don't know why. But oh my god, this game was just incredible. I thought it was so far ahead of its time and just such an incredible, amazing title that we saw one release of. And that's it. And never even like a remaster or anything like that. Like I'm legitimately flummoxed that we only got one entry in the Billy Hatcher universe. It's a shame. It's an absolute shame, because this game is absolutely wonderful and just something that I really wish more people knew about, more people played, and more people appreciated. Switch Online, perfect opportunity to make that happen.
And there it lay, just out of reach, the dagger of time.
I'm going to be honest with you, I don't know the likelihood of getting Prince of Persia Sands of Time or its sequels, The Two Thrones or Warrior Within, released on the Switch Online GameCube service, because I don't really know where Ubisoft currently stands with the Prince of Persia franchise. Like, we got the Lost Crown in our previous generation, but that was the first Prince of Persia game we'd gotten in a while. But I hope we get these re-released, because the Sands of Time series is one of my favorite trilogies of video games ever. It introduced me to so much. Like, stuff that was introduced in Sands of Time is stuff we still see today in games like the 3D Tomb Raider and Uncharted. And it's just a really important game in the history of video games. This whole series is fantastic. I know a lot of people have never played this one, but to have a game that had ambitious 3D platforming and great combat and a really neat time-based mechanic where you're able to rewind time was really cool to play. Love this one. Hope we get to see it again, because I think it would do incredibly well on that service. I understand I'm in the minority for enjoying this game, but I really like Star Fox Adventures, and that might have something to do with the fact that I haven't really liked a lot of other Star Fox games. I loved Star Fox Zero. No, I'm in the minority on that one too. I really like this one though. I liked being able to kind of explore as Fox McCloud. I like that this was just Dinosaur Planet upgraded to become a Star Fox title on the GameCube. And hey, it's Rare doing Star Fox, man. I can't complain about that. It's not the best Rare game by any stretch of the imagination. There's definitely some weak points here, but I think as far as being just kind of interesting and kind of fun, you can't go wrong with this, man. Like, I dig this title. It's not perfect. I'm not going to lie to you and tell you it is, but I do think it's fun. One of the most stylistically incredible games I have ever seen, both from a visual presentation standpoint and just the implementation of the gameplay mechanics, is Beautiful Joe from Capcom. Talk about an all-timer. Just a brilliantly designed character, a wonderful mascot, fantastically implemented into this wonderful world of cinema, and just reveling and just like absorbing every little bit of what makes movie magic amazing. And putting that into gameplay, oh my god, just, oh, so good. The different speed powers you have, the abilities that Joe gets. Henshin a go-go, baby! This game is just amazing. I wish this one had really turned into just this huge franchise for Capcom and we were still getting Beautiful Joe games today, but unfortunately we got 4. I think we got 3 on the Cube and then 1 on the DS, and that was it. And oh man, I wish this was still around, and I want more people to appreciate it and play it. Our third entry from EA, and the one I think is the most likely to occur, to be able to be seen and be played on the Switch Online service for the GameCube, is SSX On Tour. Now, I know a lot of you are immediately grabbing your pitchforks and saying, no, we want Tricky, no, we want 3. If you get anything from SSX on the Switch Online service for the GameCube, you're getting On Tour, and here's why. Mario, Luigi, and Peach are playable characters. This is something Nintendo has a vested interest in. They don't often lease out their characters to appear in other games, especially sports games from third-party publishers. So think of how unique of a situation that is. We got them in NBA Street Volume 3, we got them in SSX On Tour. I would love to be able to get SSX On Tour, be able to play as those characters, have those amazing tracks and amazing course designs come back, and get a truly fantastic arcade racing experience in a downhill setting on skis and snowboards. Kind of like with Billy Hatcher, the Skies of Arcadia franchise was one that I really expected to become something important to Sega, and outside of the Dreamcast release and the remaster we got on the GameCube, that's it. Nothing else. We haven't gotten a damn thing from the Skies of Arcadia universe. Now, there's rumors that Sega has re-upped the trademark, and they're working on a new entry in the series, and you know what? I welcome it with open arms, but for now, with this GameCube Online service, I would love to see Skies of Arcadia Legends come back and be able to be played by so many people, because this game is incredibly valuable. There's a huge barrier of entry to people being able to play it because it's expensive. It's hella expensive, and it's hard to find. Like, it didn't have a huge print run. So getting a digital release of this for people to be able to play would be huge. It's a brilliant title. It's one of the best JRPGs ever made. An amazing story, fantastic gameplay, just the whole package. Like, I absolutely love this game, and I would love to see this kind of be a resurgence for the franchise, to see it come back strong and to get new releases in it. Straight up and honest, I have no idea if there's any likelihood of this happening, because the Star Wars video game rights are such a mystery to me that I don't know who has them. Near as I can tell, everyone has them. EA has them. Ubisoft has them. I know there's other people doing Star Wars games as well, and it's just like, well, okay, everyone has the rights to Star Wars right now. I would love to see this game come back, because Star Wars Rogue Squadron Rogue Leader is really fun. I do really enjoy this one. I think it has a brilliant design. It is stunning to look at. Like, this might be the best looking GameCube game, just like soup to nuts from top to bottom, because this is just such a gorgeous title. Like, Progressive Scan did wonders for this game. If you dig Star Wars space combat, you need to play this one. And what better opportunity to do so than with a Switch Online service?
3, 2, 1, go!
While I do think the N64 game is better, Wave Race Blue Storm is a fantastic title on the Nintendo GameCube, featuring some of the most beautiful water physics you're ever going to see, even to this day. Wave Race Blue Storm is magnificent. This is a jet ski racing game with huge levels, fantastic visuals, a great soundtrack, and a really kind of like fun code where you can actually input it and your announcer becomes a jerk. And it's really sarcastic to you. It's really funny. I love it. But back to the gameplay. The game is solid and spectacular. Like I said, it's not as great as Wave Race on the N64. It's miles better than Wave Race on the Game Boy. But it's a really fun title that I think shows off the power and the capabilities of what the GameCube had. I love it. It's a fun game, and it's a really, really solid racing game that would be brilliant multiplayer with Switch Online. I loved Wario World when I first played it. I love it to this day. I think it is one of the finest 3D action games on the Nintendo GameCube, and it's one that I think looks incredible, starring a brilliant character. Like, this is the best Wario game ever. Now, a lot of you can point towards Wario Land 4. A lot of you can point to things like the WarioWare series, and all those games are fantastic, and I love them, and they're A+ titles, but like S tier is Wario World for me. I just think it's brilliantly designed. I think it's super fun. I think it does not take itself seriously, which I adore, because it's a game featuring Wario. Like, it is not a serious endeavor whatsoever. You beat up dinosaurs in the first level, for Christ's sake. It's fantastic. And of course, it's all about greed. It's all about collecting treasure. It's all about making yourself a huge, disgusting, garlic-flavored success. I love it. It's wonderful. You need to play it. Everyone needs to play it.
There you have it, my friends. 10
You sit on a throne of lies.
GameCube games that I would love to see on the Switch Online service. Varying degrees of difficulty on this. Some of them will not be there just due to licensing. Some of them might be there. And there's always times where Nintendo just surprises me, and the third parties that developed the game surprise me as well. Like, I didn't really expect to get a Koei Tecmo month on the SNES and the NES, but there they were. So, stranger things have happened. There could be surprises here. Let me know in the comments down below which game I featured today is the most interesting to you that you would like to see on the Switch Online service. Let me know as well what GameCube games you would like to see. Till next time, folks, I've been Jay. Appreciate you spending a little bit of time with me. Check out this playlist on screen as well, where I'm giving you what I feel are the games that everyone should own before the Switch 2 launches from the Switch 1 library. Until next time, remember to play more games, stay square, and take care. I'll talk to you soon.